Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video. Yes, it's me. I'm here at my house all dressed up with nowhere to go. That's because me and my two really best friends, we decided to do one of the challenges that are going around circulating on social media right now. I was like, you know what, this makeup is not going to go to waste, so we're gonna film right now. We're gonna film right here, and it's still daylight as well, so it's pretty good timing for me right now. It's quarantine time. It's COVID-19. We have all been in this for several weeks now. You might be getting a little stir crazy, right? I think everybody is. Even when I was doing my eyebrows right now, I was like, I need to get them done. They're growing in. So I'm gonna have to find some like old school type of methods or something like that to be able to kind of keep up with it. Same thing for my nails, which is really sad. We're just hanging on. We're hanging on, guys. We're hanging on by a prayer here. But I just got them done like a few days ago. So, and they're pretty short. They're not like super long or anything. So when they grow out, hopefully they will not be looking too bad. But yes, that is my COVID-19 update for you all. Not what the video is about, but it sort of is at the same time. I just wanted to kind of come on here and share with you guys one thing that you can do. You can add to your list of things to do during this time where we're all at home and we're resting and we don't have anywhere to go, so we have to focus on, you know, other things, different things to do around the house, things we've never gotten around to, finally, you know, starting those projects or achieving those goals. And I think this is one of them, you know, a 5-year plan and having a 5-year plan. I think we hear about this when we're in school. We hear about how we need to have a plan, we need to figure it out, but I don't know if any of you guys watching this video have actually sat down and tried to make a 5-year plan. It can be pretty difficult. I know, because I've done it. Especially if you are in college or in high school. You know, the next 5 years, it's kind of dicey. Like, you kind of can be pulled in so many different directions. You know, if you're a little bit older like me, I'm gonna be 25 next month. So my 5-year plan now at 25, you know, we're almost 25, compared to my 5-year plan when I was like 20 or 21, completely different. And it was, not only is it completely different, it's so much easier for me to kind of figure out what direction I want my life to go in, as opposed to when I was in college and when I was, you know, kind of at that point where the world is my oyster. And the world is still my oyster, right? Because, well, the world is always your oyster, but especially when you're young and you're in your 20s, you know, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many ways that you can kind of work this life of yours to kind of be all that you want it to be. So the only thing that comes in between you and having that happen is having a plan or not having a plan, you know? And like I said, it's hard to figure it out in the beginning. I was able to cultivate my very first 5-year plan, which actually, it developed into a 5-year plan, but I started off at a 3-year plan, because I sat down with myself and I truly did not know what my life was going to look like 5 years from when I was making that plan. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. I must have been 21, 22 at this point. Took a step back. I said, okay, I may not know what 5 years looks like exactly, you know, exactly. You might have an idea, but you can't pinpoint it, right? I may have an idea not exactly, but you know, I have an idea. But let me just take a step back and look at the next 3 years, okay? If you're 21, you know, or you're 20, in 3 years, you're 23, 24. That's the near foreseeable future, right? So you probably have an idea of what you'd like to accomplish in the next year, in the next 2 years, and more likely than not in the next 3, okay? Whether that's getting your degree, whether that's traveling to, you know, a new place that you've never been before that you've always wanted to go. whether that is learning a new language or buying your first car, and I'm just using the 20s as an example right now because that's where I am at in my life. But this is applicable to anybody, whether you're 15, whether you're 30, whether you're 35, your goalposts may be a lot different, At 30, you may be looking into, getting into a relationship, maybe, something that's long-term, something that's leading towards marriage. Even if you're in your 20s, you may be wanting that. If you're 15, you might just be looking to get into the college of your dreams. If you're 35, you may be, looking to start your family or looking to buy your first home, things of that nature. So this is not catered to a specific age group necessarily. This is really just in general. I created my first 5-year plan or 3-year plan that I later developed into a 5-year plan when I was, like I said, 21, 22. But also, it was after I kind of had so many things going on for myself. Like I shared with you guys just a minute ago, I was in undergrad and, I was so busy. I was working. I was a full-time student. I was doing internships. I was trying to have a social life. I was trying to do all of these different things. And I tried to sit down and write my 5-year plan, and I really was blank. I truly was blank. Because all I could think about was my short-term goal at the time, which was graduating, A. B, figuring out how I was going to fit my schedule and do all the things I needed to do in order to graduate on time, because I had, some different things that just happened along the way, as we all do. And I needed to figure out, different courses and different things that I was going to take, wasn't going to take in order to kind of make it. Because I was determined to graduate in 4 years. I knew that. So it's not that I did not have goals, but I wasn't thinking 5 years ahead. I was more like thinking, okay, to the next semester, to the next school year. So I wasn't able to have that type of vision at that time. Of course, I did have an idea of how I would like my life to go and what I would like and, different things that I would want in my life, at that time, 5 years from then. But it wasn't clear for me. I couldn't sit down and truly process and think and really, really come to terms with what I truly wanted. So that made it very difficult. So I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to focus on my goals at hand at this time, which was A, graduate, B, get a job after I graduate. And then I figured out that actually I wanted to work abroad because I never got a chance to study abroad. So then I said, okay, instead of getting a full-time job, I am going to focus my efforts on finding a job overseas that I'm qualified to do and that will, give me the type of benefits and the type of money that I can, make and have to be able to actually grow, to be able to actually pay off my debt, because I have student loan debt, something that's going to be able to help me not only gain experience and really look impressive on my resume, but actually add value to my life and, all of those things. And so I did that, and that's what I focused all of my energy on. But what I later found out was after I had graduated and I wasn't in the rigmarole of, being a student and school life and all of the things that come along with that, doing this balancing act. I had been doing this balancing act for years, and this was the first time in my life that I truly felt like, I can breathe. I can think. I mean, yeah, I may be going to work, every day, but when I get done with work, I've got time. I've got my time that I can use for whatever I want. If I do want to read, it's books that I want to read. If I do want to, pick up a hobby, that's something that I'm doing for myself, not being inundated with assignments and different things like that. And so it was really the first time in my life where I felt like I had the time and I did not have the pressure placed upon me to actually have a kind of moment, to really sit down and think, what do I want for my life? What direction do I want my life to go in? And, what does that look like? What does that really look like? taking pen to paper and really just writing it out, just brain dumping everything. And of course those things change. Like I told you guys, I had a 3-year plan. Having a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan doesn't always mean that everything's going to go according to plan, right? But you have a rubric to go off of. And as things change, which they will, because you don't know what you don't know, and you won't until you figure it out. Because I went with my 3-year plan. Once I had it, I really did go through with it. A 5-year plan or a 3-year plan is not specific to one lane of your life. That's just my occupation. That's just what I do to earn income. It really didn't have much of an effect on my other goals and the other kind of areas of my life where I have plans set in place for myself in those areas of life, that have nothing to do with my career. I've got long-term goals, and like I said, I'm going to be 25 next month. So from 25 to 30, I know exactly what I want to have happen. And there are some things that you cannot map out or plan. But what you can do is you can be focused on your goals, whether that be career oriented or relationship or, financial or just lifestyle goals, okay? Like I was mentioning before, whether it's owning your own car, your own apartment, saving a certain amount of money, paying off your student loans, which Lord knows that is in my 5-year plan, It's happening for me, guys, before I'm 30, and thankfully I'm not in that much debt. But who knows what's gonna happen with Corona. We may not have no more debt, okay? But for now, I have a plan for that. I have a plan set in place for that. I'm on a different career path as I am going into teaching, so I've got a plan for that as well. I've got a plan for every sort of area of my life, but the only reason why is because I've taken the time to really be able to put myself in a position where I'm able to clear my thoughts, not have, certain pressures and certain obligations on myself, so that I can be clear and that I can truly have a moment to think about what I want, because we are pressured from every angle, especially us millennials. We are just pressured from every single angle to do all different type of things with our life, with our youth, with our resources. And I'm just here to tell you that may not serve you. You may do everything quote unquote right and follow it by the book, but at the end of the day find yourself unhappy because you were going by somebody else's rubric for success, somebody else's rubric for what it means to have a happy life, and you weren't actually thinking about what you truly wanted. And in order to also do that, you do have to come to a point in your self-love journey and your self-acceptance journey to really be in tune with that, to not have external forces and external people and all these things. Well, all people are external, but you know what I mean. External kind of opinions and different things like that infiltrate you to the point where it's you're making judgments based on that, which is hard to say because to an extent we all have that, right? We all do. But the best thing that I could say is to truly think about what you see your life being like. What kind of life do you want? I think that's a really good question to ask yourself, and not what you want to do for a career, not what you want to where you want to live necessarily, but what kind of life do you want? Are you somebody, and that also goes back to your values, are you somebody that values traveling? Do you see yourself kind of being one of those nomadic people where, every other month you're in a different location, you're in a different place, experiencing everything that the world has to offer, and you never really settle down and put roots down anywhere, but you just go and live your life all over the world? That says a lot about your values, and that's also a certain lifestyle. And you may have to do things a certain way or not do certain things in order to attain that. But, that's just one example, okay? Are you somebody who sees yourself, living in the suburbs, being a family man or a family woman, okay? being a mom, being a career person, being a stay-at-home mom? Do you see yourself being, involved in your community and, doing things with your family, with your children, with your spouse? Is that something that you see yourself doing and being? Do you see yourself, making it to a certain level in your career where, you have freedom and flexibility and you're able to, have a team of people working under you? Maybe you live in a very urban place, you see yourself living in this penthouse apartment. Maybe you have a significant other, maybe you don't. You're free. You do what you want when you want, and you have your priorities set. And you are career driven, career focused. This is not necessarily for women or for men. This is just me talking to the camera about having a 5-year plan. We are in COVID-19 quarantine. If you never were able to find a better time, or if you were never able to find a time to actually sit down and think about what you want for your life 5 years from now, even 10 years from now, I don't really recommend people do a 10-year plan because so much happens in 10 years and you could have a plan for it, but I think it's better to kind of have different sort of milestones that you see in your mind that you'd have accomplished by, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It's not bad to think about those things, but the 3-year plan and the 5-year plan are detailed. You know what I mean? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you cannot make the details. You can't. It's too much of it's a huge time gap. So, like I said, having milestones when it comes to that is a lot easier and it's a lot more freeing. 3 to 5 years, that is in the near foreseeable future, and I think that is a perfect time frame to set clear goals, clear kind of things that you'd like to achieve, and just to get yourself kind of on the right track with that. Okay, like I said, things will change. It changed for me. I told you guys about kind of my career. I thought that I was going to build a career in marketing and PR and be a communications person, which is what I studied in college. And it turns out that that's not what I want to do at all. And, to be fair, I love all of that stuff. I really do. But I do not find fulfillment or joy doing it for a company. And I do feel fulfilled when I'm teaching. So it's kind of something that there's no way I would have figured that out had I not, joined the workforce and all of that. Which, made me everybody will come to terms with what their calling is and what they truly want to do career wise. And I know what the next several chapters, what lies ahead for me, because those are the things that I'm going to be chasing and pursuing and able to attain. So I truly and sincerely hope the same for all of you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that it blessed you. Take a moment during this time that you have, all this free time that you have, and really, really think about what the next 3 to 5 years of your life looks like. Write it down, take a journal, take a blank piece of paper, write it down year by year. 2020, X, Y, and Z. 2021, A, B, and C. And really, really embody that. And I don't think you're too young to do this. Even if your goal is, I want to graduate high school, you are not too young to do this. It's best to start making these habits now because you'll carry them on with you into your future. Anyways, guys, I have rambled on for long enough. I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!